Dinner in Hell band.
Oh, Dinner in Hell audience.
Oh, they're the best. They're just incredible.
Probably the greatest group of people I've ever recorded a broad podcast from.
Easily. No question. This is known.
Number one podcast audience in this building.
Hell. Welcome back for another exciting edition of the Dinner in Hell podcast, the show where two amateur historians talk about the atrocious underbelly of history. I am one of your co-hosts, Brad the Impaler, and with me, as always, Ron Maiden.
Oh man, it's good to be back here in the Dinner in Hell studios recording episode 71, our first full episode given to a pope.
Today we're talking a Catholic pope.
I was going to ask you if that was how that was pronounced, Catholic or Catholic.
Oh, you thought he was a cataholic? Just, like, really into cats?
Yeah, like when I was reading like the show planner, I'm like, Catholic. So I had to like Google Catholic, and there's all these cat memes and shit, like crabs and baskets and shit. I'm like, oh, now that I hear you say Catholic, it makes total sense now because you get like Pope, duh.
Yeah.
So,
That's generally a dead giveaway.
yeah, Catholic Pope. Okay. It's clear then for the listeners that it may have been like in my situation.
All cleared up. Catholic is a pretty obscure religion.
So we're going to be talking about a Pope, informal prince of the Papal States.
You bet. This guy...
Is it papal?
Papal.
I'm just messing with you.
Papal.
I know it's papal.
But I wasn't let you say it how you like.
You're on punked. Come on out, Ashton.
Ah, the trucker hat and all.
Come on, Dex. Dex Shepard. Is that his name?
Dax.
Dex. Come on out, Dex. Come on out, Justin Timberlake. He did a reversal punk.
Oh, dude, when Justin Timberlake got punked, he was like crying. I actually felt bad for him.
We gotta take your four-wheelers, man.
He's like, what happened?
The guitar, he like drops on the cement. Like, what the fuck? That's a Martin. Oh, that's great. Oh, MTV. What happened to you?
That was even already after it was shitty, too.
Yeah. I mean, still, though, there was like that, and there was like,
it just keeps getting worse.
Do you remember the MTV show Fear, where it was like 4 teenage kids and they had to wear like cameras on them and they'd be like, okay, now lay in the casket.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, you shovel the dirt onto the casket. It was like Fear, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it was
like
called.
this is an old insane asylum where a woman was killed and buried in this casket. Get in.
Spoiler alert. People run around scared and nothing ever happens.
Yeah. What was that? Like the producers like throw rocks. Go get them. Chestnuts. They just got a bucket full from the chestnut underneath the chestnut tree.
Well, what time period are we talking here?
We're talking the 900s, 955 through like 964 is when this guy, this Pope, rules. Middle of Italy, right?
Yeah, the Papal States. It's really weird. Italy during the Dark Ages is a bizarre place. It goes back to being like a bunch of city-states almost. There's like a lot of different kingdoms on the peninsula, and the Papal States controls the city of Rome and the surrounding area.
Okay.
It existed, I mean, in some form for a pretty long time. I mean, I guess you could still say now Vatican City is technically like a sovereign country where the Pope is in charge. It's just very, very small now.
It's funny how we've covered Roman emperors that like had like these weird people that were called Christians killed and shit because they were like weird outcasts, and now we have like popes ruling
Rome.
Yeah.
Yep. That is an old city.
Man.
It's almost, I have a hard time even imagining it growing up as an American, you know?
Right.
Like the oldest shit we got around here is like 200 years old.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, like I know you haven't been to Europe, but like in Europe, the roads that are in between the buildings are very narrow because the buildings were made when it was just horses and buggies. So
and people walking,
and that's why European cars are like little tiny ass cars, like the Mini Cooper. That's like, bro, why you gotta stretch out with this Mini Cooper? Like, tone it down.
Yeah,
they got
even
little cars.
Yeah, you even get that shit here. Like, have you ever been to Annapolis in Maryland?
Oh, is it like New England, like old timey?
Yep.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's like every street's a one way, and every street is basically an alley.
Yeah, there's no room for sidewalk.
Yeah, there isn't even any
car.
parking on almost anywhere.
How
like there's
weird.
only parking lots. That's nuts.
Shout out.
Annapolis, Maryland. What's
there
up?
you go.
So what do you say we get into this Pope's early life? You may be wondering why in the world we have a Pope on our program.
That's right. This episode should have been launched on Easter Sunday, correct? This is like we're going to put a little jab in you.
Yeah, a little bit of a Easter special.
Easter
For
jab.
for the holidays. For the holiday spirit.
The previous episode was about the pig man serial killer.
Pigman of Port Coquitlam.
That's right. That's right. Go look for that one if you like serial killer topics. And now we're going from there to Easter ham day. Yeah.
And I'm going to spoil this right off the top. This ends the streak of hand removal.
Oh, we've had removed hands for like 5 episodes.
By a total coincidence. We didn't have planned that at all. It was just happened to kick off and their hands being cut off in every episode. But none in this one. Sorry. I'll break the bad news up front. The streak ends this week.
I was at lunch with one of our researchers, and he's like, basically now, this is basically what I do is I just Google friggin' Pope John XII and hand removal in quotations. That's basically what I do now is for like a good 15 minutes, see what I can find, dig up. I'm like, okay, I'm glad we're paying you top dollar.
Yeah. The man who would eventually become Pope John XII was born in 937 in Rome as Octavianus, the son of Alberic II of Spoleto. This guy, very powerful. He was basically the prince of this country, the Papal States, as it was.
What was the word for prince?
Princeps.
That's cooler.
A little bit.
Princeps.
It comes from I think it was in the ancient Roman Empire, it was a title that was given. So in Rome, they just sort of kept giving out this title over and over again, even though it doesn't mean the same thing.
It's like the Bobcat badge in Cub Scouts. Everybody gets Bobcat badge.
Like, why? I didn't kill a bobcat.
All you had to do is a backward somersault. 3 times. Badge.
In front of your scoutmaster.
Den mother. Fucking bullshit.
I never did scouts.
I did Cub Scouts, not Boy Scouts. Cub Scouts. Okay. Nothing happened. No one touched me, all right? I'm just going to put that out there.
You know it'd be okay if they did. It wouldn't be your
But I wasn't in long enough, maybe, possibly. Because of God. I was not in long enough.
God's plan.
Yep. One time, we had to go. This kid's mom was the den mother. Mm-hmm. So we were like 6 of us are in the Cub Scouts. It's before Boy Scouts. It's like little kid, 4th grade, whatever.
Yeah.
So we go up, and it was like an upper flat apartment, like single moms kind of set up. And, we were little, but, you didn't think about that shit when you were a kid. And so we did our shit, like, all right, to do like the bullshit to get the badge. Whatever. So like
prove you like whittled a train whistle or some shit.
Something like the Pinewood Derby or something car. I didn't do that though. I didn't stay long enough. Anyways, so it was like over. Okay, Cub meeting's over. Bye. Okay, bye. I'm like out there. I'm like, oh shit, I think I forgot my thing. Like she must have could not have waited for us to get the fuck out of there. As soon as I came back up, opened the door, and she had her shirt off, and she was in her freaking bra, and she was giant freaking healthy woman. And I was like, kid, holy shit. My friend's mom was like right in the doorway. Like she was like as soon as all the footsteps went down, and then I
just like fall over and start twitching.
Grab my coat, and I was like, man, I freaking just go for a glass of milk right now. God damn, fourth grade wanting milk. I'm just kidding.
It would be really creepy if you're serious about that.
I think about it all the time. That's a personal detail.
Now, let's talk about Alberic a little bit.
Oh, you want to be on topic?
Yeah, we should probably get back into
Happy Easter to our Catholics.
Yeah, what's up out there?
All Christian people, right?
I know of at least a couple.
Happy Easter to people that are atheists. Fuck it. I mean, I'm sure they're going to their religious... I'm sure they're celebrating Easter with their family.
And if you're Orthodox, I know you do this at a different time, so that's cool too.
Yeah. And happy Boxing Day, because I know, it doesn't get enough recognition up in the north. It's like belated, all right?
They do, but I thought Boxing Day was just a British thing.
Boxing Day in Canada.
They do Boxing Day in Canada
They
too?
get it off. It's like a big day.
No, they are part of the Commonwealth, so it makes sense. They got the Queen on the money and shit still, don't they?
Yep. And they're ruled by Queen and the loon of the common loon. Yeah, it's they do like a natural. They have one natural leader and one human.
I'm pretty sure there's like a moose and a Mountie hat that's in the mix somewhere.
Previous to the loon was the moose.
Okay.
It's been a loon for a long time. They lived for 300 years.
I should take a Canadian studies class. We'll see.
Bird lovers will know that loons live to be about 300 years old.
All right, we got to get back to Albrecht the second. He had all of the aristocratic families that sort of served as his, feudal structure, like tightly in hand. He had them all way, way under control. He was a pretty effective leader, it appeared. Think of them as Alberic as like Roose Bolton and Octavianus as like Ramsay.
From Game of Thrones.
Bingo.
What is it? The Boltons, the skinned man.
Yeah, the flayed man.
You didn't cross this man.
No, he was stern and fucking had everything under control. Son, maybe a little bit of a loose cannon, we'll say. You think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's ill. He's on his deathbed.
Mm-hmm. And he summons all of those other noble families to him. And he extracts from them a promise.
Like Jaime Lannister goes in Cersei's place. Or Joffrey's. I represent Lannisters. That's right. Fuck, are you going to make fun of my golden hand? Or are you going to go on? You trying to think of something to say?
I can't come up with anything. I can't fill the scene out in my head.
You could be the chick. You can be the Tyrion's sister. Tyrion's sister. Who got his dick chopped off and his hand chopped off? Reek.
Theon?
You could be his sister.
Asha?
I'll claim fucking North. Fucking. Anyways. Theon groped her on the horse.
Oh, yeah, that was creepy.
He's like, oh. You guys got a scope? So he's ill on his deathbed.
Oh yeah, he summons the nobles in, and he makes them promise that his son Octavianus will be elected the next pope.
That's right. He's gonna be the best Pope Octavius of all time.
He forsakes his name. Yeah, but that shit does happen. He does make him the pope. They do, even after he dies, they do it to it. They give it to him.
Right. They were men of their word.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows that.
As a matter of fact, during this period, the Saeculum Obscurum, what's called a pornocracy, or a rule by prostitutes, or a Huron regiment, rule of the harlots, is what they call this. because the family of Octavianus's great-grandfather, Theophylacti I, kicked off more than 100 years of the papacy being passed down in the same family. I mean, when you think about it now, it's like one pope's from Germany, next pope, Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's way different now. The pope thing is way different now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're talking 904 to 1032, 8 popes, all from the same family, and they're all noblemen from Rome.
I'll never forget Pope Benedict's campaign when he ran. Oh, the dude just changed the whole game.
Yeah, he really took the social media push to a new level.
Live webcams with people and like question and
Periscope.
answers. Yeah. Like live, like he would be holding white doves and showing people, look, I can handle a white dove with no problem.
Mm-hmm. It means you're so holy.
You want me as Pope.
Yeah, I'll pope so fucking hard. At this point, John had already entered the church. Calling him John, but I should be calling him Octavianus still.
Oh, he didn't change his name yet.
Not yet. But he was already a priest. And you gotta love that double whammy of religious authority and state authority. Two great taste great together, right?
Oh, yeah. That always works out.
Totally. I mean, just look at how wonderful all of the places that do that are.
Does Iran do that? Yeah, it's a totally strict Muslim country.
Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia, I believe, has... I think now this, look, I don't know. I'm just saying, this is footage I've seen. Maybe it was 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like I think it was Saudi Arabia had the police, but then they also had Muslim police.
Yeah.
And they walked around with like a stick. It was like a cane.
Mm-hmm.
And like...
if you're not Musliming appropriately...
If you were breaking some kind of law or code of it, you got whacked and disciplined right there.
Or arrested.
And they had like particular like headgear on, like red and white striped. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you could tell when they were coming.
Oh, I was like, yeah. Like there's a woman in the driver's seat go, oh shit, puts it in park, scoots over. I was not driving.
Take from this your own conclusions, but that was also a feature of life in the caliphate.
What does that mean?
ISIS.
Okay. I don't know that.
We're in 954. This is when Alberic dies, and Octavianus succeeds his father as the Princeps of Rome. He is 17 years old.
Uh-oh.
The next year, when Pope Agapetus II dies, Octavianus, who had obviously, because of his just fucking next level quality priest maneuverings, had already been promoted to bishop and then cardinal. At 18, he was in charge of bishops who are in charge of priests. Like, for example, like the Metro Detroit is in the charge of a priest. So like, or a bishop. Okay. So like a cardinal is after Pope. It goes Pope Cardinal. So 18 years old, this dude is already in second highest rank in the Catholic Church.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure he deserved it, right?
Yeah.
And if they do it to it. Cardinal Octavianus becomes Pope John XII.
Changes his name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called a regnal name when you like rise to a seat of office and you change your name. Sometimes emperors do shit like that too. Emperors did that in Rome a lot. It's probably why popes thought it was cool. With this too, we've got an opportunity for
dinner in hell. Going deep.
Pope John XII was actually the third person to take a regnal name upon being elected to the papacy. Two of the others who did it were the second and third Pope Johns.
So the only original John at the time was the first?
Yeah. The other ones were like, well, I guess I'll take John. I always hated the name, like, Alex anyway.
I want to be Pope Ozzy. Draw his name just like Ozzy Osbourne.
Over the mountain.
You know him? You've heard of him?
Yeah, I have.
Cool. Okay.
But I just imagine that song blasting and that weird bubble truck the Pope trucks around in.
But all you can hear is like...
But the bass is just like slamming. You can see his little robes like going with it.
He's got like Kia Soul lights that like with the bass.
Do you think that thing could go underwater?
Definitely could.
The Pope Mobile?
Oh yeah, anything could. Oh, you mean does it
I
hold
hope it
air
could
bubble?
fly. Yeah,
anything can go underwater, Brad.
I suppose that's true. So now we've got John XII at the power of the religious authority as well as in control of the state.
So this is 960, correct?
Yep.
6 years later, 17 years old plus 6, carry the 1, 23?
Yes.
23 years old.
Yeah, I mean, during this period of time, he made one try to like lead an army out in battle to like some kind of like ancestral pope lands he thought belonged to him.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a pope leading an army in battle? It's insanity. I can't even barely believe like the words coming out of my mouth.
The guys are like, don't you think the Pope should have like a sword instead of that like staff with like the shit on top? He's not really going to use that. He's just carrying it on the way there. He should have a spear.
Yeah, he should. But I get the feeling the Catholic Church in the Dark Ages is a lot different than it is today, probably. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got popes like riding into battle and shit. It's bananas to me.
Yeah. Back of a centaur.
Yeah, it didn't
Before they went extinct.
Yeah, before the centaurs.
They're wiped out by people from the west.
Dragons. The Pope kind of got his ass kicked, though. And he had to go back to Rome with his tail between his legs. I mean, who would have thunk it? The Pope, not a great fighter.
Most popes have their tails removed like when they're infants.
Oh, hold on.
This pope's kept his.
Oh, yeah,
like
hold
the
on.
Parents did.
Run the Dinner in Hell Going Deep theme again real quick.
Dinner in hell going deep.
Most popes, they get their tails removed.
That's right.
Yeah.
As an infant, so they don't really remember it.
Baby Pope. Now that would make a good movie.
Well, at this time, they know who popes are, if it's born a boy or not. What? He's a boy? Pope.
Well,
Clip the tail.
the Pope wasn't always the same person as the ruler.
Clip the tail.
They just come from the same family.
Clip the tail, son.
Yeah. They did get it. They probably, like, if you got clipped and didn't become Pope, it was you're probably so shamed to go swimming.
Well, think about how shamed the guy was that they left the tail on him. Like, his shamed as an infant, like, don't leave the tail. He'll never be Pope with that.
He had to get a back alley tail removal later in life.
Yeah, this is so crazy that he had a tail. If you're still with us, this is the Dinner in Hell program, and we're discussing Pope John XII. He did not have a tail. We went a little long with it.
Yeah, but that was a bit.
Yeah.
You know, not too long after getting his ass handed to him in battle, though, it was never going to matter anyway, because the Saxon king, Otto I, and his army came thundering over northern Italy, forcing Pope John to crown him the new king of the Western Roman Empire. This is 962. Western Roman Empire hadn't existed for a while. So he's just like, please don't kill me. Let me keep control of this Pope lands, but you're my boss now. That was sort of his like play, his like way to not probably get killed.
Okay.
During his reign, the Lateran Palace was widely known and referred to openly by people in the city of Rome as a brothel.
The Pope's Palace?
The Pope's Palace, the brothel.
No, when I think of brothel, I think like come one, come all. Not just only for him.
I just think they mean it's a place of utter debauchery at all times.
He's like, I got wine. I got wafers.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do communion. Have a few drinks. Have a few laughs.
Come out to the coast.
It'll be great. Christmas movie. Die Hard.
Best Christmas movie. Fight me.
Bad Santa.
Die Hard's better.
You never seen Bad Santa?
I have. Die Hard is the best Christmas movie.
I'm on my fucking lunch break.
That's brutal.
Are you insane? I'm going to tell the manager. You think anything you can say or do is going to fuck my life up anymore? Go ahead and try. Eats his salad. Oh my God.
Dripping in the beard and shit.
Just come on. Bad Santa is just something else.
No, wrong holiday. We gotta get back to Pope Easter time. Not John McClane.
John Ritter and Bernie Mac in a scene together. They both passed away. Rest in peace.
Big ups. John Ritter loved you, and your one episode guest shot on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I loved you on freaking Three's Company. That's my time. Speaking of Johns.
Oh yeah, well this John, the 12th one, who was Pope, was basically fucking everything that moved.
Yeah.
Man, woman,
sex pot.
Yeah, or horrible predator. Depends on which angle you're looking at it from, I guess.
The heart wants what it wants. She's like...
And the Pope takes what it wants.
I'm your sister.
Yeah. The moral corruption in the city of Rome was basically the topic of conversation. I mean, this shit was not even remotely secretive in any way. They were not attempting to hide any of this. I mean, it's not like they even tried to keep up some mask of respectability. He doesn't pretend. He does all of this openly. The Pope is doing all of this openly. Everybody knows all of this. This is mind-shattering to me at like every bend.
That's crazy.
I know, right? It's like it's scarcely believable, but like there's tons of writers who are talking about all of this who were alive then, and everybody knows.
I'm trying to put this into perspective. So you have an empire of people, huge population, and they're all behind their leader, and their leader is doing all these outrageous things. I don't know how to get that frame of mind, but to be frustrated with their leader and his actions.
Yeah, it's hard to get into that headspace.
It's like, yeah, lucky for us.
Yeah, we don't have
Americans.
to deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, too, is if you were in the palace and he took a fancy to you, it was going down, whether you wanted it to or not. He raped a lot of people. I mean, just to put it bluntly. I guess there's a reason they called this period of time the Dark Ages.
Dark. Gray.
Not awesome.
Ages. And they last.
Everything was black and white.
That's
until
right.
the Renaissance started. I bet you guys didn't know that.
Until the Wizard of Oz aired. I was like, what? TV turned to color during Wizard of Oz.
And it was magic that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kansas sucked in the beginning of Wizard of Oz.
We're being awful fast and loose with facts today. And things that are physically possible.
When I think of Kansas, I picture black and white farmland. Tornadoes. And mean ladies on bikes.
Danger to dogs. Even nice ones. Well, a frequent target of John II's unwanted advances were his younger sisters.
Come on.
Yep, this is the Pope. Mind shattering. I think the current Pope is pretty good. He's great for a Pope. He's okay in terms of what he actually thinks.
I just want to say that is awful to hear that detail. And for all our people that are sitting here and they're big Pope fans and this, look, we Googled 10 worst popes of all time. This was number 10.
There's more Pope episodes coming in the future.
I'm just kidding. I don't think there was 10 murderous popes, but there could be. There was a list.
I don't know about 10, but there's more Pope episodes coming in. I've come across some stuff on my own, like clicking on links while I was reading about this. There's some more Pope episodes on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like he didn't seem to give a shit about their religion whatsoever. He was openly very sacrilegious. He was said to even enjoy the act of defiling holy sites.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was a sacred tomb.
Yes. Saint Peter, the first pope, right?
Saint Peter was the one that was crucified upside down?
Yeah. He was the first pope. Pope number 1. The Catholic Church is not started by Jesus. Jesus never intended to start a new religion. Jesus died 100% Jewish. Peter's really the one who kicked off the new religion.
Okay. So set the scene now. Where it's a special building constructed to be the tomb of the first pope, right?
The person responsible for creating this church.
Yeah.
Yes. I think of
like Indiana Jones would be like blowing the dust off of him. Like
I imagine
I hate snakes.
Yeah, I imagine you got the Trinity, right? God, the Father, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit are going to be the top 3 in who's the coolest and for Catholics, right? That's the top 3. I think number 4, you cannot pass up Mary.
Okay.
Jesus' mother. She's in there. Okay. She's number 4. Okay. Number 5.
His wife, Mary Magdalene.
His wife? According to the Da Vinci Code?
Right. Dan Brown's novel of truth.
Maybe Jesus didn't even exist at all. I think he did, but who knows at this point.
By the way, we're going to be at the Louvre this summer, so if you're going to be in France, let us know.
Mm-hmm. We could put you on the list. What were we talking about?
We're talking about how important the Pope was.
Yeah, we're Saint
to
Peter.
Catholics.
Yeah, Saint Peter might be number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might be number 5. So think of, the second most revered human being in the entire religion. This is his tomb where his body is laying.
Yeah, the finest ivory and porcelain and gold trim and heavy doors that always are shut. What are you going to go in there for? Stay out.
Yeah, it's got to be incredible. It's the most sacred place probably in the whole deal. And he used it as a venue for orgies.
Wow. All right, come on in. They're all giggling and shit. No, light some candles. Yeah, light the candles. Freaking got big old bottles of wine. You know, the big bottles, like clay bottles. Bring that wine in here, Mom. Is this really St. Peter's tomb? That's crazy. Oh, my God.
And it's written as...
John 12.
Johnny.
John 12. You're so cute. I don't know. No, he's probably like, get your ass in here.
Yeah, I don't know if
this is by force, you son of a bitch.
They use the word orgy, but I don't know how many people were like down for this. Like, I don't know if this was set up on Craigslist or...
Back then, I don't know. I don't think
or if it was
Craigslist.
Just like kidnap list.
I think so.
Yeah, steal person.
Back then,
due to them
in the 900s. Yeah, there was a lot of kidnap lists.
1100 years ago, the Pope was doing this in the real world. It actually happened
in the tomb of the first Pope ever.
It's like every single thing I looked at about this dude snapped my mind in half again and again.
And again, he was ranked number 22 worst Pope all time. So you got 21 more that are worse than him to come.
We're talking Pope power rankings?
Pope freaking Luke Pope
JP2. Yeah, he's got to be near the top. I don't think you can leave him out of the
Pope Lando.
out of the Amen 8. I think JP2 is up in the Amen 8.
Pope Hans.
If anyone was going to be Pope out of that group in the Dark Ages, probably Han Solo. Just saying.
Dark Ages? Freaking Darth. Pope Darth.
Pope Palpatine.
Pope Vader the First. Well, so he's forcing himself on women. He's having orgies in sacred tombs.
Mm-hmm. Defiling holy sites in the process.
Wasn't he ordaining deacons in like a nasty horse stable?
Yeah.
And that's like a special freaking, you don't just get ordained in a horse stable.
Yep. He would also take just straight up money to ordain people, priests or bishops even. As a matter of fact, he straight up ordained a 10-year-old a bishop. Hey, you're in charge of a bunch of priests, fourth grader equivalent.
Things kids are doing at age 10.
Yeah, 10-year-old bishop.
What were you doing at age 10?
Now, some more of John's bullshit is recorded in the internal document, the Patrologia Latina. He would routinely, apparently, also rape his young niece.
God damn it, this guy sucks.
Yeah, he's real bad. I mean, if you had to pick a bunch of words to describe not this pope, but a pope in general, name some you might think of. I mean, I'm thinking of like pious, calm, reserved, peaceful. You know?
Pope Kenobi.
Now there you're talking.
Wise.
Holy, like
mystical.
Just and shit like that. Yeah. Dusty. Yeah. Would you, I mean, he was described as completely dedicating his life to hunting, wine, and gambling, as well as we know, raping people.
By people we mean nieces.
And sisters and strangers. I have such a hard time squaring this with knowing like he was the Pope. It's insane to me. How had I never encountered any of this? I never had any idea of this.
I know.
In my life.
Yeah.
Although I can guess why they don't publicize it. And
I believe this was suggested from someone Twittered us this idea on direct message on Twitter.
Oh, yeah?
That's how we got this one. Yeah. So that's how it would led us to the other topics to come.
Yeah. I mean, when he said he loves gambling and he was sacrilegious, when he was gambling at dice, he would invoke the gods Jupiter and Venus.
Yeah.
Also demons in any attempt to bolster his chances of success with the dice.
Satan, help me now. Sevens.
Yeah.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, he calls like fucking Jesus help me, gets snake eyes. He's like, all right, let's try Jupiter. He's like, oh shit.
Are those like pagan gods?
Trips. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know craps. I'm trying to say stuff, but I don't know enough about it to make any jokes.
You're good on snake eyes, I think. But I think they want either 7 or 11 when you play dice, like on the streets.
Yeah, I mean,
either 7 or 11.
Break them with a 7, 11,
7-11.
even backdoor little
7.
J.
Yeah. Today was a good day.
Yeah, but this is a pope, and he's like, "Oh, help me, Beelzebub, to get those 7s." Like, could you imagine the pope invoking a pagan god? It's mind shattering.
He, when you do the sign of the cross with your hand, doot, 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 like a triangle.
Yeah.
He would never do that. He's like, I ain't doing it.
Yeah, he refused.
He's the Pope, and he's like, I ain't doing it, stupid.
Yeah. I'm speechless. A Pope refusing to make the sign of the cross.
My arm's sore from rape.
Yeah.
I have rape soreness.
Crazy. It keeps getting dicier, though. For some reason, he would also not take communion before giving mass. You got to do that. It's like a rule. It's like a Catholic rule.
Have you ever? You've done it because you were raised Catholic, right?
Yeah, but I've never been a priest.
But you've done
communion
shit with it. Yeah, they give you the food. I've never done that. They're like, everybody come up here, but you fucking satanic son of a bitch. Get the hell out of here.
I had my first taste of alcohol in front of my entire family, given to me by an authority figure at the age of 7.
Cool. Cool.
I always said if I always somehow wound up a cop just to stir some shit, I would just wait outside of a first communion and give all the kids MIPs.
Drunk in public.
Minor in possession.
Also public intoxication.
Yeah.
God damn it, look at him. He's on top of the car with his pants off.
Book them, arrest them all.
Woo, fuck everyone. Okay.
But they actually are. They're like spiking a bottle through the cop car, set it on fire.
Yeah. Now you get fearless when you drink. Like a bunch of fearless toddlers.
Now, this is where things get real dicey for John Boy. Now, considering all the things that he did openly, I shudder to imagine what he may have decided he wanted to keep a secret. But there's always a priest who is dedicated to taking the confession of the Pope. If you're not familiar with Catholic sacraments, confession, you go into a little booth. Sometimes there's a screen. Sometimes you go face to face, which is I didn't like that. I didn't never do that. I'd like make some shit up, be like, yeah, I was mean to my sister. But you go in and you talk to the priest. And
what would be some?
You tell him all your sins. I never told him any real shit.
What would have been a real one? What would you have brought to confession? It's good for the air for the show.
Maybe I like lied or like
like trouble.
Took some shit like that. I broke
crack.
Yeah, did crack. I broke one of the stained glass windows in the church one time because
that's hell ticket right there, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised I didn't die right on the spot. It was on accident. I was trying to throw a rock over the rectory.
Blue sky when you went into church. You come out, it's like lightning.
Yeah, but I did that. Maybe would have been something I should have shared. But how it works is the priest. You tell the priest. Priest talks to God real quick, and then the priest has the authority from God to wash all your sins away.
Right.
Yeah. So theoretically, you're going to want to have a confession right before you die.
But you have to do. Sometimes he's like, you got to do 3 Hail Marys.
Oh, that's what's called a penance. So like. The priest does some sort of calculation, like reaches a sin level assessment on what you tell him, and he'll be like, all right, you need to think about this, or you need to fix, like he'll tell you to do real shit too. Like it is actually a way of advice. Like he doesn't just hit you with like 3 Hail Marys. He'll be like, well, if I told him I was mean to my sister, he'll be like,
you see him checking his watch.
Apologize, like you should go apologize. Yeah, you bored of these 4th grade confessions. Get the AA crowd in here again.
He had tickets to the Tigers game. You see through the screen, the privacy screen, you see like this digital watch light up for a second. Like, God damn, are you listening?
Yeah. Trying to pour my shit out here, dude.
3 Hail Marys. Break your neighbor's leaves. You're good to go.
Yeah,
I got a ball game to go to.
Except it wasn't 3. It'd be like, say 30 Hail Marys.
Really?
Yes.
Hail Mary full of grace.
Yeah, they'd be like, say the rosary 10 times, which would be like a lot of Hail Marys.
That's one each bead.
Yeah, it's either the Lord's Prayer,
it's
like
1,000 prayers.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
I still know Iron Maiden's music. Yeah, Iron Maiden.
That would just come into my head every time. Our Father. Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum.
All right. There was a little metal reference for our metal fans.
Okay, and so a priest is the confessor to the Pope. The Pope tells all his sins to a specific priest, and then that priest absolves the Pope. It's the whole thing. I don't know how the transitive stuff works with absolving sins, but there you go. John killed his.
What?
Yeah, he blinded him. It doesn't say exactly how. I couldn't find the exact how, but if they just say he blinded him, I'm going to assume with his bare hands.
No. So this is, I don't know about bare hands. I believe it was like one kind of potion mixed with another kind of potion. So essentially, he blinded him with science.
Nice. He blinded him with alchemy.
He blinded me. Blinded me with science.
Well, this fucking killed Benedict, the confessor. Father Benedict died from it.
Well, wait. I thought he blinded him and then murdered him.
He died from the blinding and murdering was one thing.
Oh, he died by eye socket.
Whatever he
hemorrhage.
did to him to blind him killed him. Yeah.
He blinded him by sticking a spear through his front of his head through the back.
Maybe. Well, whatever he did to blind him did kill him. He murdered Benedict. Murdered Father Benedict. And nothing happened because he's the Pope and he's in charge of the country.
Apparently, when you go to the doctors and you go blind, they say, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how blind are you? If you say 10, that means spear through head out back.
Okay.
Of skull.
Good.
That's level 10. So
that explains why when I said that, he just left the room.
That's the worst kind of blinding.
That also is not his only murder. This one I could find even less background information on. But at some point, there was a subdeacon who, I mean, talk about going way down in the food pole or the food chain, the Catholic food chain.
Hey.
I'd never even heard of a subdeacon before, and anybody can just be a deacon. You don't even have to like take a vow of celibacy or anything. You just be like, hey, like I kind of want to be a deacon. I go to church here all the time. They'll be like, well, maybe, yeah. So it's
you have to take.
What the hell is a subdeacon?
In the States, you have to take classes. And you have to you have to pass a certain test
to get your deaconry license.
But then you get to like sit in like hospital rooms with people and be like, sucks.
Yeah.
For you. Go in peace, I guess.
Am I comforting you?
I hope you go in peace. I hope there's a heaven. I mean, what am I sitting here for? I don't know. Shit, I got freaking March Madness and 4 different channels. I gotta get home.
Yeah. DVR's filling up. Oh, he did also castrate this subdeacon first before he killed him.
Did he die by removed penis hemorrhage? Like
this was less clear, but I'm probably...
In my fantasy, he died by stump hemorrhage.
In mine, just to make it fun... I'm going to involve some sort of like crazy Rube Goldberg machine that does it at the end.
What's that?
Like it starts off where like a candle burns and then it pops a string in half and then a little mallet hits like a ball that goes down a track.
Like Pee Wee Herman's breakfast being made?
Exactly. Bumps into a chicken, lays an egg onto a scale or something.
Fries. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, and then at the end, it's just a knife that cuts that subdeacon's balls off.
In my fantasy... It's a pendulum that lowers it to each sway, and it just goes. Flunk. It's like what? No, it chips away at it, like about 7 different swings. But yeah, and then it stops while he's alive. That's my fantasy, man. Don't judge me.
Eventually, it'll hit like the femoral artery and zip, zip, done. Like 10 seconds, bleed to death.
This show has made me so like insensitive to this bullshit. Like the very beginning when we first started this, I was like, holy shit. Now I'm like making up new terrible fucking... Dude, this is what he should have did.
Hey, let's make it a little bit worse real quick.
Yeah, this is what I would do. These guys suck. You suck at torture.
Yeah, we're probably in a dark place when we're zazzing our episodes up a little bit.
Yeah.
No, so we mentioned earlier that John had crowned Otto the king of the Western Empire, granting him, some measure of authority over him. It didn't take him long to regret that. He disliked having to, kowtow to fucking Otto's whims. He hated him. He didn't like him. Doing his bidding, like excommunicating someone, creating new archbishops and shit whenever Otto told him to. And Otto also was like, dude, you're the Pope. Put your dick away once in a while. Like, he was like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be the Pope. Like, I walk in here in this palace.
There's cocaine everywhere.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Hookers everywhere. It's out of control.
Beaners.
What?
Some people will know what that is. Mescaline. Beaners, yeah. Little pills, I guess. I don't know. I've never been around it. Heard about it in the 80s.
I missed that.
90s too. Yeah, 90s too.
Yeah, well, so the two, fair to say, they clashed heads. And John decided to hatch a plot to try to depose Otto. I don't. In my head, what I'm imagining is Otto from The Simpsons, the bus driver.
Hey, keep your arms inside the bus.
Yeah, like he's trying to be in charge of the country.
Yeah. Hey, little Bart, dude.
Yeah,
that guy.
Hey, man, you're the Pope. Stop like having sex with everybody all the time.
Put that thing away, man. It's scaring everybody.
Yeah, so John started negotiating with the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire, the Magyars, and some former Italian kingdoms. Otto, however, captures the envoys that John sends out, and under what I imagine is some pressure, they squeal and tell Otto everything about what John's cooking up.
Yeah, some kind of pressure. Pressure of the pointy end of a spear in their throat.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on behind those walls? Besides debauchery.
I think we've said it before on this program, but I feel the need to reiterate the dinner in hell policy of no snitching.
Don't ever admit to treason.
Definitely
ever.
not.
If you did treason, never admit it. Even if
they're going to do something real fucking bad to you if you do.
So, yeah, number one way to get freaking tortured to death.
Yeah, so Otto says, you know what? I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to go talk to him. We'll see if we can smooth things over. And he sends an envoy to Rome only to find out that Adalbert, the son of Berengar, who was the last effective resistance to Otto, like, completely taking over. He was still having to deal with like rebellions. That guy was in Rome, and Otto was like, God damn it. Like, that's it. You've done it. You've gone too far. The thing is when Otto tries to he brings the full army in. And this is less fucked up than before, but still as mind-bending as the rest of these have been for me. John originally comes out to defend it. I mean, the city's in the midst of a civil war, basically. Mm-hmm. I mean, half the people who are loyal to John are fighting, or more than half, much more than half, were loyal to John in Rome. For some reason, I don't know why, but they start fighting him against the people who are loyal to the new emperor, right?
Okay.
Fucking crazy shit, man. And John comes out and leads troops to fight Otto's army successfully at first. He drove him back across the river.
Wow.
Yes, but he gets a look at the size of that army, and he's like, well, yeah, I kind of fought him off now in the midst of this chaos, but it's clear that he's going to lose. No matter what, he can't possibly defend against what's eventually going to fall on him.
Yeah.
So he cleans out the papal treasury, takes all the valuables, basically, and dips out the back door.
What's he going to do with it? Bury it somewhere?
No, he puts it to a little bit of use later on.
He buries it in the desert.
He spends a lot of it.
The Italian desert.
The Italian desert.
It's famous.
Massive, too. Oh, so Otto, when he takes the city, puts it back under his own control, he calls a council that demands John present himself and answer charges against him of all the fucked up shit he's been doing. He is like, if anybody shows up to that, they're going to get fucking excommunicated, which means you're not allowed to be a Catholic anymore. So he calls the council anyway. And John's like, I don't give a shit. I'm going hunting in the mountains of Campania. And he just goes hunting. Thought he was like on the run or something, but he's like, nah, we're going to do this big safari type deal. So he does that. And the council said, well, you're not the Pope anymore. And they create an anti-Pope, Leo VIII.
The anti-Pope?
Yeah, it sounds way cooler than it is.
He does the sign of the pentagram.
Sounds like it'd be like the satanic pope, like anti-pope.
Instead of the sign of the cross, he does the sign of the pentagram.
Nah, it's just somebody who's, whenever there's like a legitimate pope and somebody else who's like, no, I'm the pope. That's an anti-pope.
Yeah.
Yeah. They pop up from time to time. Way cooler word than the concept, though, unfortunately.
Little known fact about him, Leo the Eighth, is that when he was born, like it was known that he had the pattern, like a scar pattern of 3 6s on his scalp under his hair.
Yes. It's all for you, Leo.
Look at me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Catholic expert, but that's not how it works. Once you're the Pope, you're the Pope. I don't think there's anything anybody can really do about it. I mean, it wasn't even until recently, I don't think, that a Pope started retiring when they got sick of it.
Like, oh, this Pope shit's hard.
Typically, you take that job till you die.
Yeah. Wheel you out.
Mm-hmm.
This Pope's hard. I'll go back to Argentina. Sip drinks on the beach. Drive around my car.
My Prius.
Yeah.
Well, he's still doing it. It was the German guy with the
Benedict?
Cardinal Ratzinger.
Was his name Benedict?
Yeah, Pope Benedict. He's the one who was like,
This sucks.
yeah, I'm not gonna do this anymore. They're like, huh? And he's like, yeah, I'm out. They're like, what? You can't. He's like, I can do whatever I want. I'm the Pope.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of you. Did you forget about that?
You know, I'm really sorry it didn't work out. I thought it was going to...
Goes God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, then me. I'm the Pope.
I'm willing to give that up.
And
So this is a big step for me to come to you like this.
Oh, you're taking this a whole different angle. Just dinner in hell drama.
I
come to you a vulnerable man.
I'm just letting him know what's at stake. His rank as 5th holiest. He's willing to throw away for this decision.
Yeah, for a
Just
life
saying.
of comfort and ease.
We try to paint pictures on this program, and that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, so even before Otto could get out of the city after holding this council, there was a big-ass rebellion. I mean, they uprose. John's supporters tried to fight. But John's supporters, though enthusiastic, evidently not incredible fighters. Otto crushed them with what was described as a large loss of life. So they rose up, and he put them immediately down. John did come back, though. And you're asking what he used some of that papal treasury for? It was for bringing people to fight. And he succeeds. He eventually is able to reassert control over the city of Rome. Leo, seeing him coming with enough friends and, mercenary-like retainers, he dips too. There's a lot of Pope fleeing in this episode.
Yeah.
So Leo runs. He looks scary enough coming back that Leo takes off and flees to the safety of the Emperor. Now, John, our good old friend John, after seizing control and mutilating any number of enemies that he had within the city, he's the top dog again. And he attempts to get everything going with Otto, right? He's like I'm
friends?
He's like, I'm back. I killed a bunch of people, but let's try and smooth this over. Otto tried to smooth it over before. John's going to try and smooth it over now. So he sends an envoy to him, and Otto is not hearing it. He's real pissed.
The envoys' heads are sent back in a basket.
I don't know about that, but the whole army's coming back.
In my fantasy, if it was me, if I was Otto, that's what I would have done. Sent their heads back.
Yeah.
You know. I'm educated.
He turns that whole army around, and he's headed back to Rome. The thing is, though, it's all for naught, because John XII dies before Otto can get there and kill him.
Oh, robbed Otto of the pleasure. Nobody touches John.
You want to know how John went out?
Please.
Talk about a man who died as he lived. He was outside of the city, engaging in fornication with some woman Whereupon her husband, upon returning home, finding the Pope banging his wife, murdered him.
Damn.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. That's so great.
Yeah, that's how he died. He was murdered by a husband who came home.
If this was
the Pope.
If this
Pope.
It's not like Monica in like the Oval Office doing favors to the president.
Yeah,
this
you
is the Pope going to Monica's house. This is the Pope going to Monica's house.
And then a fictional Mr. Lewinsky coming home and killing him.
That's so funny. Like if this episode was a movie and it all led up to it, it's like the surprise crazy ending. Like Otto's like, I don't think I'm ever going to catch up. Or Otto's like right on the edge of catching up to him. But when he gets there,
it's just this like bizarre like anti-conclusion.
There's like a puddle of blood seeping out under the crack of the door. And he's like, what? It can only be, oh shit. He opens up. He thinks the worst. Thinks it's his wife. No. It's the Pope. And the freaking husband is standing over him like, what? Who are you? Otto's like speechless. Turns around. Walks out.
He's like, I just killed. No, imagine it from. He would know what he looks like, fucking probably, dude.
What?
Because the Emperor's probably on like coins and shit.
Well,
so he's probably like, I just killed the Pope. Matter. I just killed the Pope, and the Emperor was just walking in my door.
Well, in the movie, it's a metaphor.
I got
all
you.
Metaphoric.
I got you.
Movie's gonna be metaphoric. It's gonna be John Travolta. It's gonna be Otto.
Do you think it will be as good as Battlefield Earth?
No, I'm talking like Pulp Fiction vibe. I'm not talking sci-fi. I heard Battlefield Earth is really good though, so everyone tells me I should see it. Something like Oscar type shit, but I haven't seen it. So it's supposed to be like one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah, there's this like really cool philosophy behind it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's
I just heard that it's really good.
I'd check it out. That's it, though. That's Pope John XII. That's all the fucked up stuff that he did and was involved in.
Oh my!
Unreal.
I bet this episode topic would have been a surprise to a lot of our listeners.
Probably. I mean, it really took me by surprise.
Yeah, but looking forward to doing other ones. This is wild.
I mean, is there some other shit that like you might have thought of out there, listeners, that you think we might not even be aware of?
This turned out to be a real good one suggested.
Yeah, if you have any other suggestions of obscure stuff that you think might make a good episode that we may not have even come across, feel free to hit us up. We're on Twitter. We're at Dinner and Hell Pod. We are on fucking Stitcher. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on SoundCloud. Don't forget to rate and subscribe on iTunes. Everybody rates it every time they listen to it. Everybody gives us a rating and a written review. Every single person. It's awesome.
Oh, so many reviews. It's like we're running out of bandwidth just from the reviews.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Speaking of bandwidth, this freaking band that we're standing here with.
They sound so crisp. Yeah.
Bandwidth. Oh, so tight.
This is good wordplay. Ice Cube would be proud.
This audience.
They're gorgeous. Geniuses. Everybody already knows this. Thanks so much for coming to listen to us tonight. Thank you to our listeners at home. We love you. Good night.